Okay, I'm going to give it just a few more seconds here. Make sure that we're up and running before I get started.
Hey there, Tyler. All right, Eric is backstage. Hey, Caleb.
Okay, when we get to 2 minutes over, I will get started here. We really should have thrown on some lead-in music. I feel like that's a missed opportunity.
Well, we certainly could have. So I guess I don't know
Yeah,
if
well,
we could,
there'll be
but
plenty of music in this presentation. Don't worry.
for sure. Welcome in,
Okay,
everybody.
yeah. So we're 2 minutes over, so I'll get started here. Welcome, everybody. My name is Jack Whitis, and I'm the CEO of Wavemaker. I'm joined by Brian Hall, who is our director of sales. So he's going to be running Copilot on this presentation here. Hey, thanks everyone for attending the Healthy Church Summit and for joining us during this breakout session. Today, we're going to take a more in-depth look at the Wavemaker Music Library, and we're also going to discuss some opportunities for creative storytelling uh, in your ministry and how Wavemaker can unlock those. Okay, so for those of you who might have missed our segment with Kendall and Jessica earlier, I'm going to share just a little bit about our company. Wavemaker was founded by a trio of music industry veterans, including Mark Stewart, who is a philanthropist, speaker, former lead singer of the Christian rock band Audio Adrenaline. And you might be asking yourself, why would a bunch of musicians start a software company? Well, I think that'll become clear here in just a few minutes. So, the problem that we solve for churches and nonprofits is fairly straightforward, but it's very common. Not everyone is aware of this, but the music that you use in your media productions, whether that's in a live stream, an event recap video, or a social media post, they all need to be properly licensed. In other words, the creators of that music need to be compensated for their contribution to your production. And as I mentioned earlier, in the past, that's been a complicated and potentially expensive process. Some of you may have already have a license with organizations like CCLI to cover music use during your in-person worship services, and that's a great start. However, most blanket licenses don't cover media productions that are live streamed or published to social media platforms like YouTube. We solve that problem by offering an original catalog of world-class music produced by Nashville artists and curated by Dove Award winners specifically for churches and nonprofits. We have music in a vast range of popular styles, but unlike the big box royalty-free music services, we've crafted our subscription license to provide legal coverage for every potential use case in your ministry. Here are some of the ways that you could use music in your ministry that you might not have thought of. Service pre and post roll, podcasts and sermon replays, fundraising and promo videos, digital advertising, and even TV broadcast. For a simple yearly fee, you get unlimited access to our entire catalog, and you can publish as many videos as you like while you have an active subscription. So every video that you publish during your subscription will be covered forever from copyright takedowns, even if you unsubscribe. Now, Mark and I joined Kendall and Jessica on the Church Leadership Lab podcast last month. And one of the things that we talked about was the power of music in storytelling. But unlike visual media, music isn't very prescriptive about how you use it. You can use music in expected or unexpected ways to shape your story. So when I was a kid, I used to play a game where I would listen to a song and then I would try to imagine the exact movie scene during which you would hear that song. For instance, that moment when a down on his luck scientist is about to give up on his invention, Then he stumbles upon a technical breakthrough that resurrects his hope for success. Think about it. You can hear it in your head, right? Like we've all seen that movie scene before. Well, I'd like to get started by trying a crowdsourced version of that. So, for those of you who are brave, I'd like to ask a little bit of audience participation. I'm going to play a song from our catalog. Then I'd like you to describe in the chat the scene that you're seeing in your head. I think this is a fun exercise because it illustrates just how versatile music can be. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Okay, so right now we're on the Wavemaker website. And what I want you all to do is close your eyes for a moment, and I'm going to play a song. Okay, so if you're so inclined, go ahead and type in the chat what you see in your head when you hear that song. I'll wait a few seconds.
These are all good answers.
Love it.
Yeah, those are great.
We clearly have a creative bunch here in the chat. Okay, Brian, what do you hear?
On that one, and granted, I had the luxury of being able to cheat and see the title, but
Yeah, sure.
for me, I'm gonna go I'm in agreement with John. I see more of kind of like an army that's fortifying for battle. That's what it conjured up in me. But yeah, it obviously has applicability in so many different visual contexts. But yeah, some of the creativity coming out of the answers here in the session are great.
Yeah, so like many of you, what I see is like a ragtag band of pirates who have just gotten their hands on a map to an elusive treasure, and they're embarking on a race against time to claim it. Like that's how vivid that is to me. Now, granted, that one's a little bit of a gimme, right? It's very specific. It's from our High Seas Adventure Q pack. It was, written specifically around that theme, and so that's pretty idiosyncratic. Let's try something else here. I'm going to do another one. Okay, let's see what you guys have got. Mm-hmm. Love that. Kids misbehaving. Oh man, that I feel
Any
that one.
parents can relate.
Uh, okay. Yeah,
Great
so
answers.
we're seeing some thematic commonalities here, right? And like Brian said, I have the benefit of having been involved, with the production process and thinking about this a lot. But what I hear is I hear someone who has recently experienced an emotional low but after a period of looking at their problems the wrong way, they now have a new perspective and they're starting to make incremental changes, to improve their situation. I know that's very detailed and very specific, but like that's what I hear. And the point here is that like you're describing the story without having ever seen any visuals. This is just from hearing the music and the correlations, in your brain between certain sounds and certain emotions. So this is sort of the introduction to the power that music has in shaping your storytelling. So now I'm going to take a more practical example. We're going to actually jump over to Canva, where I have a video clip with no audio loaded up. So if you aren't familiar with Canva, it's an online creative tool for image and video editing. And if you're new to creating content, Canva might be an easy way for you to get started. But hang on just a second and I'll jump over there. Okay. So, as I mentioned, here's a video clip that has no audio associated with it right now. Let's watch this. Okay, so we have an idea of what's going on there. There's two people talking. It looks like a heavy conversation, maybe a difficult conversation. And we're thinking, okay, we need music to suit that mood. So I'm actually going to jump over to Wavemaker now, and I'm going to show you guys how our AI-powered search works. Now we're back on Wavemaker. Okay, and we're gonna do a quick search here. I'm going to look for, let's see, emotional music for heartfelt conversation. Okay. So something to note here is that I just described the scene in my own words. I didn't have to search by title. I didn't have to search by artist name or even specific categories or moods. I just described the video that I wanted to make. So we've got some recommendations here. Let's flip through these real quick. Okay, so those all seem like plausible options. And when you had found one that you liked, the process for getting the audio file is just coming over here to the download button, click that, and you have several options. You can download the full version, which is what we were just listening to. You could download the stems, which is all the individual instruments within the mix, if you want to build your own mix. You can also choose from alternate mixes, which removes one or more elements to make the song less busy. That's super useful if you're doing background music and you don't want to step on the dialogue, if the music is not, the focal point of the production. And then additional assets like stingers. So this is, for folks who are familiar with, video editing and audio for video, stingers are short clips, short representations of a song that you can use for transitions. So you pick one of those, you would download it, and then you would import it into your video editing software of choice. So now I'm going to jump back over to Canva, where I've preloaded this with some music from our catalog. And I'm going to go ahead and drop a song into this timeline and see how it impacts this production. So super easy to do. Now let's watch and see how the emotional impact of this clip changes. So just by doing that, you've added a ton of emotional depth to that video and told us more about the story. I think in a lot of ways, clearly there's been some kind of tragedy, some kind of event, some kind of processing that's happening. And this is exactly how it works on social media. If you have a video, simply by putting Wavemaker music alongside that video unchanged, you can instantly add emotional depth and increase engagement with that content. Brian, anything you wanted to add to that?
No, it just reminds me of something that I watched a few years ago where there's a scene from the movie E.T. and somebody had taken the symphonic music out of the flying scene in E.T. and it's almost laughable. It completely changes the dynamic of the scene and uh, so it just shows you the power of music and this is certainly part of the value I think that Wavemaker brings to the equation, particularly for churches where sometimes churches just don't know where to go and get music like this or understand the impact of it. So yeah, hopefully this is a service that everybody's identifying that they could really take advantage of and get some value from here.
That's great. Yeah. So, I mean, that sort of concludes the demonstration of the platform. Obviously, there are, more things to take advantage of on there. You just saw me using our projects feature, which is a way to organize songs into collections and share them with your team members. Your team members don't even need an account to listen to your projects. So it's great for organizations. We're always trying to incorporate little time-saving features so that you can quickly and easily add music to your multimedia content to enhance your storytelling without making it a really onerous process. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that demonstration. One more thing I wanted to share with you. So as a special thank you to everybody who attended our breakout session, I've actually created a promo code that is Shine15, SHINE15. And Brian, will you post that in chat there for me? Yep, I created that promotion code that you can use at checkout to get 15% off your Wavemaker subscription as long as you redeem it before October 1st. So for the next 2 weeks, if you go to Wavemaker and you sign up and you enter Shine15 at checkout, you will get 15% off a yearly subscription. And again, that's just as a special thank you for you guys for attending our breakout session. So to sign up, go to wavemaker.com/ministry-brands. And I know that link will be shared after the breakout session here, and click Get Started. If you think of a question after this presentation, feel free to email support@wavemaker.com, or you can message me directly at jack@wavemaker.com. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. I believe this is the end of the programming for the day. So thanks to everyone for attending the Healthy Church Summit, as well as our breakout session. We hope you've picked up some helpful tips and tricks today. And from everyone at both Ministry Brands and Wavemaker, we hope you guys have an amazing week. So thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it, everybody.
All right. Have a good one.